Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Welcome, Facebook land. Hope you guys are amazing. I'm going to wait for an audience to build. Dave Benson here. Another tip of the day. Today is the life of a sales hustler. Every single Thursday, I'm going to come to you with a tip on not just how to be an awesome salesperson, but how to build the life, build the balanced life, build the harmonious life that you've always wanted. Billy Bowler, how are you, champion? So today, that's what I'm going to talk about. Every Thursday, I'm going to talk about the life of a sales hustler, how to build the life that is in harmony, is in balance, that we don't just hustle for no reason, but we build an awesome life. So I'm going to talk real world shit. I'm going to talk real world examples. I'm going to talk about my story, what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, how to hustle, and how to look after yourself at the same time. So Dominic Box, how are you, champion? Lawrence Liu, Colin Wymack up the Central Coast. He's still up the Central Coast. Yes, he is. Let's hear the greatness. Awesome, Billy Bauer. Man, make sure you quickly like this and share this. This is going to be really powerful. I'm going to share a really powerful story, something that I went through personally, selling cars, and how to ensure that you don't go through what I did and burn out. Because I know most of this group, in fact, about 96%, I think, of the group of sales hustlers that I mainly talk to, and most people that watch my videos are male. And whether you're male or female, this works either way, or this is applicable either way. But depression in car sales, depression in full-time jobs is something that is really, really prevalent. I know in Australia and right across the world. Anybody, when they're trying to hustle, when they're trying to make money, when they're trying to build their own business, it can often be a roller coaster of emotions. So today I'm going to talk about how to ensure that you can prevent burnout. How do you prevent your burnout, and how do you live with harmony? I've got 7 steps for you today, but I want to start with a story. On the life of a sales hustler, I want to talk about the life of Dave Benson. In fact, 7 years ago, this week, my eldest daughter turned 7. So right on 7 years ago, my wife had just had Aria, our now 7-year-old, as I said, and I was working at a dealership in Sydney. I was the general sales manager there, looking after the new and used team. And I was doing a commute for more than, it was about an hour and a half one way into the city every single day. And if you're a sales manager or you work in the car dealership, you absolutely know what sort of long hours that you do. And as a sales manager, I had to pull these long hours. And then I'm doing an hour and a half commute one way. So I'm probably working a 12-hour day, adding a 3-hour commute to it. And I got a newborn at home. And very quickly, I burnt out. Very quickly, I went through an emotional roller coaster, which forced me to quit my job. It ended up being the best decision that ever happened to me, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't have quit that job, and things definitely worked out for me. But I wasn't able to cope. I wasn't able to cope with the long commute. I wasn't able to cope with what was going on at work. And, having our first newborn was very, very new to me, obviously. And I went through a time where physically I wasn't in great shape. I was eating trash. I was definitely down in the dumps. And the results, if I hadn't have quit, I probably would have been fired. And so what I wanted to talk to you about today is how to prevent that. How to, regardless of your circumstances, often, like, I couldn't change potentially my circumstances, but you can always change how you react to your circumstances. And so I want to run you through these 7 things on how to make sure that you get your circumstances right, that you adjust and that you set yourself up to win today. Because I see there's a lot of posts on the Sales Hustlers group, and people are saying, I've had a bad month, or I'm up and down, and how do I stay motivated? And I think the dangerous thing for us is that we're so focused on selling cars, we forget about everything else, and we realize, sales is a mental game, right? So we don't look after our mind. And so the first thing that you have to do is love what you do. If you want to prevent burnout, you have to absolutely love what you do. And I'm not just talking about your job, I mean every area of your life. That your life has to be enjoyable. If you're not waking up with an enjoyable attitude, if you're rolling out of bed, hitting the snooze button 4 or 5 times, then there's a good chance you're going to burn out more quickly than if you're passionate about every area of your life. So firstly, you think about the workplace. You spend so much time at the dealership or the workplace where you go. You've got to enjoy the people there. You've got to enjoy the boss that you work for. It's so important to get up with a passion and love what you do, love the brand that you sell, right? It's 5 o'clock, 10 past 5 here in the morning, and I got home at midnight from Australia, doing a 24-hour trip to Australia. And it's most important for me to go, I'm not doing these videos because I have to, I'm doing these videos because I want to. I do it because it's my passion, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing, which is contradictory to this, but is so important, and I think really underrated, is the amount of sleep that you get. How much sleep do you get? Do you get enough sleep? One of the biggest inhibitors of our sleep is usually this thing, right? Our mobile phone. Because we've got it sitting next to our bed. We've got it sitting on the nightstand. We've got it sitting maybe in the bed charging, which is a really bad idea. Melly and I, my wife and I, we make a decision now, and we go in and out of this, but we've made a decision now that we have to get the phones out of the bedroom, right? It's an intimacy killer. Right, and it's a sleep killer. So the phone, you buy a $5 alarm clock, seriously. But there seems to be this movement, and I know people like Eric Thomas. If you watch the Hip Hop Preacher, or people like Gary Vaynerchuk, or whoever it might be, they promote so much of this hustle that they say you need to get 4 hours sleep. So some days you just need to forget about your sleep, because if you sleep, you might miss out on things. I absolutely disagree. For me, I know I cannot operate unless I get 8 hours sleep. I cannot operate. So I can tell you, as much as I want to keep working after this video, and I'm going to pump myself up, I have to go back to bed because I've only had about 5 hours sleep tonight. So I need another 3 hours at some stage during the day. Otherwise, I'm not going to be as productive. I'm just not going to hit the production level that I need to. I'm going to burn out quickly as well. You need rest. You need rest. Your body needs rest. Maybe you don't need 8 hours like I do. Maybe you need 6 hours. Maybe you need 5 hours. But I encourage you to build a sleep pattern and get things like the mobile phone out of your bedroom so that you can be everything that you're called to be. Number 3 is manage your to-do list. So when I have a look at my to-do list today, and I'll bring it up real time, I have 61 things on my to-do list. If I look at that to-do list and I look at 61 things, I'm going to get absolutely nowhere. I'm going to paralyze myself by just looking at 61 things. So I need to look at what I can outsource, at what I can delegate. But I need to make sure that I am in control of doing first things first, the things that matter. I see so many people in car dealerships waste time. We waste time every day doing things that we shouldn't be doing. And so I encourage you, if you want to avoid burnout, one of the fastest ways to avoid burnout is to have that feeling, that endorphin rush, that you are accomplishing tasks. And the most important tasks are the most important tasks. So for you, it's probably selling a car. For me, it's writing content, doing videos. It's speaking to potential clients. It's, you know, booking Orlando trips and stuff like that for next week, which is all done, right? And so if I don't go home with a sense of accomplishment, I'm gonna bring my attitude and my negativity level in, which will force me to burn out. Number 4, regular breaks, times, and movement. So throughout the day, it's very easy, and I've done it before here in the office, where I literally plant myself at my desk and I don't move for 8-10 hours, right? You know, somebody brings me food, somebody brings me a cup of coffee, my sister brings me a cup of coffee, my wife says, would you like some food? She brings it into the office, and I hardly move for 10 hours. You know what I've realized? That's the fastest way to burn out, but also it's the fastest way for you not to be productive. So what I'm doing now is I'm breaking up my day into 1 hour allotments. I do not sit down or have a lack of movement or even a lack of a break for more than 1 hour. So I don't write content. I don't do videos for more than 1 hour. I need to go and have a break. I need to grab some sunshine. I need to grab some water. And I just need to put breaks in to free my mind. I find that even when I'm in the shower, I come up with most productive ideas, don't you? When I'm looking at the beach, I come up with the most productive ideas, the hacks that work out how I can do life better. So that's point number 4. Point number 5, in order to prevent burnout and live with harmony, is chat to someone. If you're going through a hard time, most importantly, reach out. Reach out to somebody. You know, Sean Hayes and myself are absolutely here for you in the Sales Hustlers group. But my encouragement to you is to have somebody that you stay accountable to, that whether it's somebody that's, you know, you have a professional relationship with, or somebody that's in your personal life, that you can just share about the ins and outs of your life. If you're going through a hard time, you've got to have somebody in order to, you know, sit down and have a cup of coffee with, bounce an idea off, and, you know, just open up and share, right? So you've got to have somebody that you can chat to, but also that will be real with you, can look into your life and be real with you. Number 6 is you've got to upskill. Every day I'm reading a book. I'm listening to an audio book. I'm watching a video. I'm studying a new online course. I have a mastermind group that I'm a part of. You have to upskill yourself, because if you're not moving forward in this world, in the world of Facebook, in the world of all your skills and expertise in sales, you're actually moving backwards. And what happens is when you get stale, right, you often will burn out because you're using the same skill that you've always been using and you're not further developing that, right? So I really encourage you every day to, whether it's watch one of these videos or alternatively grab an audio book. I'm going to give away my audio book in a couple of days and give you all access to it. You'll find out a little bit more in the Sales Hustlers group. And number 7 is use music to keep you up. I know if I pump music in this studio, in this office, that I'm absolutely a lot more productive, right? My favorite music, the ability just to, you know, rise above and feel motivated when music is playing. It keeps me out of that depressive sort of state. You know, burnout is a real thing. Depression is a real thing, right? Suicide rates in car salespeople across the world is not good. Right? It's not good in any profession, right? It's not good in middle-class society. It's not good in the Western world. It's just not. Right? I've had people in my world, and I'm sure you have, that have just not been able to cope. Right? They've not been able to cope, and they've ended up ending their life, and it's a tragedy. And there's nothing more harmful to their family than when somebody cannot cope and they burn out. You know, I've seen so many people in my life burn out, whether it's from a more drastic result as suicide or things like that, or it's more of a small scale mental breakdown, or they just quit their job, or they just go into this hiatus mode. You know, we have to find ways to cope with it, right? And so I'm going back to sleep today. I'm going to get my rest, my regular breaks throughout the day. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing whatever it takes in order to talk to somebody to win the race and most importantly, love my life, every area of my life. There's no such thing as work-life balance, ladies and gentlemen. There's no such thing. What there is about building the life that you've always wanted. If you're working in a job that you hate, but you're looking for that work-life balance, can I tell you the balance will always be out? But when you love every area of your life, when you embrace it, when you do things smart, right? When you look at your 61 things on your to-do list and you do 20 of them today or 10 of them today, but you do the 10 most important things, right? You're going to have that sense of accomplishment. All right, so I really encourage you. It's a bit of a heartfelt message for you today on the life of a sales hustler. Every Thursday, I bring a message about you and about how we can build the life that we've always wanted. And it's not just about the sale. It's not just about the hustle. It's about building that life that we've always wanted. Every Thursday, I bring it to you. I'm going to be with you tomorrow for another tip of the day every morning, 8 a.m. Sydney time. Make sure you check out the Sales Hustlers group. I'm Dave Benson. I'll see you tomorrow.